Sometimes when you are presenting to win a project, sometimes you have the opportunity to have it be an interactive presentation, an interactive conversation instead of a unilateral presentation. And we at Sage Presence recommend that you take advantage of this opportunity whenever you can. Whenever you can turn it into something that feels more like a meeting, something that feels more like a conversation, you should. Now, I do understand there are some circumstances where they just don't allow it. Sometimes it's a public, not a private decision-making body, and they need to make things look as above board as possible. They need to be able to tell the community, no, there was no bias here. Everybody did the exact same thing. We decided on objective measures. But other times, mostly when it's a private decision-making body, you're allowed to break the norms, and instead of presenting formally, you can be a little bit more casual, a little bit more interactive, a little bit more conversation. In a situation like that, I recommend that you start off by ensuring that this is going to be a conversation. So let me talk to you about how to go about doing that and what not to do that most presenters do at the beginning. Most presentation teams at the beginning, when they want to have something conversational, they will ask their audience to feel free to interrupt and ask questions whenever they occur to them. And 99 times out of 100, when you do that, it makes no difference at all. They never say anything, they keep to themselves, and you present the whole rest of the time. And there's a couple reasons for that. The biggest reason for it is it sounds like a rhetorical device. It sounds like just something you're saying and you don't really mean it. The way to have it be non-rhetorical, the way to really mean it, is to say, before we get into our presentation, we have a couple questions for you, and we'd love to get your responses before we dig into things. And then the two questions that we recommend are something along the lines of, what are your challenges right now? And what are your goals right now? Now, the downside or the danger of asking these questions is that you might come across like you haven't done your research in advance. You haven't figured out what their challenges and their goals are. It might sound like this is the first time that you're talking to them or thinking about their project. So the way to mitigate that risk is to say, now, we did our research here. We believe we understand your challenges and your goals. We see A, B, and C over here, and D, E, and F over here. But before we dig into these, we want to check in with you. What's missing here? What else is on your mind? What challenges do you see with this project that you want to make sure that we address? And what are your definitions of success over here? What are your goals that you want to make sure we talk about how you can hit them? And likely what will happen is the three things that you put on each of these lists are going to get them thinking, and they're going to throw things out that are variations of those three things. So most likely, you are going to have figured out what their biggest challenges are and their biggest goals are. But you're getting them talking by asking these two specific questions. You're not just inviting them to ask questions whenever it occurs to them, and you're not just asking them a yes or no question like, do you have any questions? You are asking two open, specific questions. What challenges are on your mind? What goals are on your mind? And that's going to get them thinking in specific directions. Give that a shot and let us know how it goes in your next interview.